Good morning, all of you. This is Jyoti, pupil teacher of science from Dr. Ganesh Das DAV College of Education for Women, Karnal. Today, we will discuss about the keywords and the back exercise of the chapter. Then, first words is the abiotic components. What is the abiotic components? The non-living components like soil, water, and minerals of the forest is called as the abiotic components. Then, second is the biotic components. The living parts like trees, shrubs, grass, animals, etc. of a forest is called as the biotic components. For a better ecosystem, there is a better interaction between abiotic and biotic components of the forest. Then third is the canopy. The uppermost layer of a forest containing intertwined branches and twigs that is called as the canopy. Next is the crown of the trees. What is the crown of the trees? Combination of branches, twigs and leaves of the tree. Means branches, leaves and twigs are collectively form the crowns of a tree. Next is the deforestation. What is the deforestation? Indiscriminate cutting or over harvesting of tree for different human activities like agriculture, industries, construction to fulfill the demands of woods, etc. These all are the activities that is cause of the deforestation. Next is the food chains. The interdependence of plants and animals on each other for food form a food chain. For example, there is a plant deer and lion. Deer can eat their foods from the plants, and in turn they become food for the lion. These three organism, plants, deer, lion, these three are make a food chains, that is called food chains. Next is the food web. Interconnection of different food chains, that is called food web. Next is the forest floor. The forest layer consisting of dead leaves, animals, droppings, dead trees and animals. Means it is the lowest layer of the forest which is very rich in the humus and the organic matter. It also supports the growth of algae, fungus, ferns, bushes and mosses, etc. This is known as the fertile layer. Next is the understory. The layer beneath the grounds where small trees and large shrubs grow, that is known as the understory layers. In these layers, shady living plants are exist. Next is the fill in the blanks. First is the decomposers play an important role in dash of the nutrients. So we have to fill in this blanks is cycle. Decomposers play an important role in the cycle of the nutrients. Then herbs are second is the herbs are found in the dash layer of the forest. कौन सी layer में मिलती है वो? Is known as the forest floor layers. Herbs are found in the forest floor layers. Third is the forest maintain a balance between the amount of dash and dash gases in the atmosphere. Which are these gases? These are the carbon dioxide and the oxygen. Forest maintain a balance between the amount of carbon dioxide and the oxygen gas in the atmosphere. Next, fourth is the overgrazing in forest may cause a decreasing in soil and an increasing in soil dash. So overgrazing in forest may cause decreasing in soil fertility. Soil fertility से क्या soil fertility decreases होती है due to the overgrazing. और increase क्या होता है? It increasing the soil erosion. Due to the overgrazing, soil erosion is increasing and the soil fertility is the decreasing. Next is the dash is the national tree of India. India का national tree that is known as the banyan tree. Banyan tree is the national tree of the India. Next is the true false. First question is the forest depend on man for water and fertilizers. It is totally wrong. False. This is the false because forest is exist as an independent unit and it needn't any water, nutrients, food from the man. It can exist themselves, own self. Second is the plants and animals in a forest are not depend on one another. This is also false because the plants and animals in that is present in a forest are dependent on each other. Third is the raw materials needed for making paper is obtained from the forest. It is absolutely true. Raw materials is obtained from the forest. For example, for the paper industry, we need to eucalypts, and eucalypts are also found in the forest. Next is the forest help in decreasing soil erosion. It is true. Then forests play an important role in maintaining the water cycle in the nature. It is also true. Forests also play important role in the maintaining water cycle. Next is the take the correct option. First question is the layer of the forest where intervened branches of trees are found is known as the canopy. That is known as the canopy. Second is the decomposers helps in cooling of atmosphere, absorption of excess water, recycling of nutrients, feeding the animals. The correct answer is the recycling of the nutrients. Decomposers help in the recycling of the nutrients. Next is an increasing in cutting down of the forest in forest will leads to an increasing in the amount of carbon dioxide in air, a decreasing in the amount of carbon dioxide in air, and increasing in the amount of oxygen in air, a decreasing in the amount of the both oxygen and carbon dioxide in air. The correct answer is the first, and increasing in the amount of carbon dioxide in the air, because plants use CO2 during the photosynthesis. But if there is no plants, or there is decreasing in the numbers of the plants who can use this CO2, and so there is increasing in the amount of carbon dioxide in the air when deforestation is the increases. Next question is the trees that is thought of as an immortal tree is known as the banyan tree, क्योंकि इसका जो लाइफ स्पैन होता है, लाइफ स्पैन ऑफ द banyan tree is very long. That is so it is known as the immortal tree. Next is the tree that is often referred to as the golden shower tree is known as the Ashoka tree, Deodar tree, Sal tree, या Amalthus tree. This is known as the Amalthus tree. So the correct answer is the Amalthus tree. And question 4, the correct answer is the banyan tree. Next is the answer the following question in brief. First is define the term food chain and the food web. We have already defined these two terms in keywords. And once again, we have to see this food chains. What is the food chains? The interdependence of plants and animals on each other for foods. That is called a food chains. Next is the food webs. Interconnection of food web क्या होता है? Interconnection of food chains. That is known as the food web. Next question is the name of the different layers. Name of the different layers of the forest. There are mainly 4 layers of the forest. First layer is the forest floor layer. Second is the understory layers. Third is the canopy, and fourth is the emergent layer. The fourth layer, that is the emergent layer, is only found in the tropical forest. Otherwise, in a normal forest, only 3 types of the layer exist. That is the forest floor layers, understory layers, and the canopy. Next is the give the meaning of the term soil erosion. Soil erosion का meaning. What is the meaning of the soil erosion? The displacement of the upper layer of soil. That is called soil erosion. It is a form of the soil degradation. Then give them next question is the fourth. The name for useful products that are provided by us by the forest. Question number 4. Are the useful products are wood, fruits, gums, resin, oils, nuts, dye, etc. These are the useful products that we get from the forest. Next is the name all 4 trees that are common in Indian subcontinent. Name any 4 trees that are common to the Indian subcontinent. These trees are the first is the banyan tree, neem, sal, asoka, teak, eucalyptus. These are the trees that are very common in India. This was the keywords and the back exercise of this chapter. Today our chapter had been completed, and tomorrow we will start a new chapter. Thank you and have a nice day.